Now, talking about the chakras, the outermost chakra is called trailokya mohana chakra. This chakra has as its boundary a square formation. It's a square formed of 3 lines, one inside the other, and the square has an opening in each of the 4 sides, right at the middle. And these 4 makes up the 4 entry paths. It symbolizes the doorways to a sadhaka or to a spiritual aspirant. So this is called the Bhupura, the earth state, and we all start from here. Anyway, more than the symbolic aspects, in our school we are focusing more at how we can connect to it at our level. So right at the entrance is the Bhupura. We are just by that entrance, and then we have to align with that outer line of Bhupura. So the outer line of the 3 lines, the outer line of Bhupura has in it what is called the siddhis, or the powers. These form the periphery. These capacities form the periphery, from the beginning stage of our inward journey. So we have to look at how we can relate to these capacities. If we think we have to get these superpowers before proceeding in our spiritual path, I think we will have to wait for a very long time. Instead, we can just relate to these as experiences in our awareness, and experiences which we can try to align with on a daily basis. For example, anima siddhi, or minuteness. It's good to look at the sky whenever you get a chance to do that. And as you look at the sky, try to slowly get absorbed in that aspect of infinity. So we see the stars and the infinite expanse, and this concept that there is no end to this universe, that can really open up the mind, give it more spaciousness, knowing that billions and billions of stars and planets are right out there. We might start to feel the minuteness of the earth which we inhabit. And then, to speak of ourselves, we can feel ourselves so minute in the universal scheme of things. If we look at ourselves as one life form, then we can feel ourselves like one wave among the millions of waves of life forms just forming. And we can really sense that minuteness. And in a way, this is a capacity, that humility, that's a capacity. And we can really get in touch with this capacity. And then ligma siddhi is a lightness. This we can get to connect through asana practice and pranayama practice. And sometimes we do really feel the energy aspect of the body, not just the bone and muscle and flesh aspect. That all of these are actually nothing but energy manifesting in different forms, and there is no thingness to any of the thing in the body. Instead, it is just energy, and it is all intrinsically empty. And then we can connect to that sense of lightness, ligama. Then mahima siddhi, the greatness. This we can connect through the jnana way. When you really start to earlier you were focusing on anima siddhi, where you were feeling yourself like a wave in an ocean which has millions of waves frothing and tossing all the time. So if you relate to other waves as other waves and ocean as something else, then definitely you can feel humble and minute. But by connecting to the wisdom that this waviness and the oceanness, these are all just conventional concepts. The truth of both is water. Wave is water, ocean is water. So when you connect to that essential aspect of yourself, not you as a body identity, or that essence of you, which is consciousness, which is energy, then like the wave, which once it realizes it is essentially water, then it can feel it oneness with the entire expanse of water. It can feel itself as a greatness of water. Similarly, we can experience the greatness of consciousness, the infinite expanse of consciousness. Once that sankuchita, or the contracted aspect of ourselves, is loosened, we can awaken to that limitless expanse of consciousness. So that is Mahima Siddhi. We have that power. And once we align to that, we can say that the Mahima Siddhi, that's that capacity to feel vast and spacious. And then the Ishitva Siddhi is a lordship. And this is not like in an egoistic sense, but we have that capacity of lordship. So you can connect to that. This represents another role which we have to play to those who are depending on us. Maybe it's our children, maybe it's elderly or elderly people, our employees, those who are our responsibility, those who are looking up at us to provide them help. It can be students, and then that position of responsibility, that is Ishitva Siddhi. That is a power. We have that, we wield that power. We can help, we can lend a hand, which can make a change in others who need that. So that is Ishitva Siddhi. And then we have the power of control, Vashitva Siddhi. So again, you can look at what all things you can actually control. At least when you drive or when you're typing on the keyboard, that's all control. It's great that we can do that. And if we look at so many things we have control, like even putting on our footwear will look like a great feat for somebody who is ill-disposed, or maybe suffered a stroke. So that fine control of the toes, that ability of the nervous system, which enables us to have control, it is a power, it is a siddhi, and we can connect to that in that way, Vashitva Siddhi. And then we also have to look at remaining siddhis are talking mainly about desires. So Prakamya Siddhi, to have whatever one wants. Many of us, if we reflect, many of the things which we wanted to have in life, maybe 10 years back, we wanted to have many things. If you really look at it, we right now might be having many of those things which we wanted. So there we have that power by which we can attain the things we wanted. And then we also have this power of enjoyment, bhukti siddhi. We have that power by which we crave for something and that is satisfied, and then there is this pleasure, this enjoyment which rises in us, and that is a capacity, bhukti. And then we have this insatiable capacity to keep on desiring, ichcha siddhi. So if you look at the mind, any time it wants something, and you can just look at this, it's a power, it's just forming by itself. And do not see it as remember, in Tantra, nothing is seen as a bad thing or anything. Just see it. It's a power which is forming on its own. And the Tantrics actually link this to that primordial desire, where Prakasha had that stirring, had that desire to manifest, to express. And then Spanda is actual formation of energy. And at our level, it is said that it is that primordial desire, just still in a mutated state, just keeping on, still forming these desires. So that is another capacity which most of us are quite aware of, this desiring capacity. And then we have this Sarvakama Siddhi and Prapti Siddhi. Prapti is again, it's like attainment, achievement of satisfaction. Sarvakama Siddhi meaning all desires are accomplished. So it is said that all these siddhis have to be there before we can really proceed in our path. So what it also means is, especially the last few siddhis talking about desires and enjoyment and satisfaction, many times we need to need to have a satisfaction of the many desires. Because what we are actually desiring for is happiness. But ignorantly, we are looking for certain things which can give us that happiness. So the desires, though originally for happiness, outwardly becomes a desire for getting this much money, getting that person, getting all these kind of things. And we have to have the satisfaction of that desire. And once all these kind of desires are satisfied, we find that the bhukti is there, enjoyment is there, bhukti siddhi is there, but mukti is not there. Bhukti means enjoyment, gratification, but along with the bhukti, we also find that bandha comes along. So along with an enjoyment, along with sukha, we form raga, meaning further desire. We want more of that. We are not satisfied. And we have to see this happening, and then we start to cling to these objects or to those people who give us that pleasure. And we get entangled. And then we cannot proceed from this level. So once you kind of satisfy all the desires, and we find that other than bhukti, we are not getting anything much, we are not getting mukti, then there is that yearning to go to look for something else rather than just satisfying these desires. So these are some of the things we have to understand of that first line. So connect to this intention, to connect to the various capacities we have in ourselves. So connect to that anima siddhi by looking at, you're stuck in a traffic jam, you connect to so many cars, so many people, and you one among them. And it's nice to feel like that. And like we earlier said, look at the sky, look at the stars, connect to infinity concept, look at mountains, connect to that minuteness. Then connect to also mahima, the greatness, as you connect to the essential aspect of yourself, to that consciousness. Then connect to desires, look at enjoyment, look at bhukti, the nature of bhukti which brings about bandha. See that our mukti is not granted by bhukti. Mukti means freedom. Freedom is not granted by gratification. Only clinging develops, attachment develops, cravings develop. So see all this. See Vashitva Siddhi, control. So whatever you do, don't just do, also connect to that capacity, acknowledge that capacity by which you are doing asanas, by which you are able to play the instruments, by which you are able to dance these intricate steps, by which you are typing, by which you are driving, the power of control, you have it. And also connect to Pragamya Siddhi. Don't always say that, oh, I never got what I wanted. If you seriously look, if you look again, you'll find that most of the things you have. But what is happening is that real goal of mukti and ananda is not satisfied. The incidental desires are getting satisfied. Sarvakama Siddhi and Prapti Siddhi is there. The objects are, you might be getting the objects, but not essential lasting happiness, lasting wisdom, lasting freedom. So once you start to see all this, then there is a possibility for us to move further. But if none of the desires, if you think really that many desires are not satisfied, and if you still think that this desire satisfaction is the key to unlocking that happiness, then by all means carry on staying here. Do your asana practice, do a little bit of meditation and all that, but you can go ahead, go for the desires, and you have to get it satisfied. Okay, then desire satisfaction, definitely there will be bhukti, but after a while you will know that that is not the end of it, and then we can go further.